rock and roll. It's a Friday night. Hopefully everybody's rested, had a good week. Looking towards the weekend. I thought I'd chime in here before I go watch a baseball game. See how everybody's doing. Ask me anything. I've talked a lot about different things. This week I've had a lot of action, and now I'm looking at year-end investments. Where am I going to invest? It has to do with retirement funds. That's what I'm focused on at my age. Retirement funds and tax advantages. Okay, so I'm checking in, see how everybody's doing. Okay, it'll pop in here. It usually gives about a minute and a half before people start popping in. It's Rock Talk, Friday Night Live. Okay. My top fans will be chiming in here a little bit. Okay. I had a good week. I got a lot done. Got a lot of traveling coming up. I think America is starting to really look at its economy. The economy's big, overlooking foreign policy, but I think the big thing is the economic strength. And it's the last 4 months of the year, and that's when people lose their jobs, man. People lose their jobs. So that's kind of what I'm worried about, people losing their jobs, because they have to make changes. A lot of transitions coming up. People have to make decisions, what they want to do. It's interesting, I got a call this week from a gentleman in Texas that said he sold his business a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. And he's bored. He's bored. He's got a couple of kids in college, and he doesn't know what to do. So he called me. He tracked me down through LinkedIn. And that's kind of what I've been working on, is what's happening and what's he doing. And some of the basic questions I ask people are, well, tell me your situation. Why'd you sell your business? Are you married? Do you have children? How old are you? See, all the personal questions. And when I start talking about personal questions, they start opening up, especially if they didn't have a plan, what they call a post-transaction plan after selling the business. So it gets to be very interesting. See what I mean? And so we talked about that for about an hour, and we'll take it from there. Hi, Nina. How are you, kid? We're starting to get a few people on a Friday night here in the United States. Just checking out, seeing how people are doing. It's Friday night, so it's Friday Night Live with Rock Talk. So, any questions? Everybody okay? They have a good week? Looking towards the weekend? I always had a plan for the weekend. You know what I mean? I always had a plan for the weekend on what's going on. I always had goals. I always had small tasks to do, or I look at the week coming ahead. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. How you doing? Love the weekend. Okay. Sherry, is that Sherry? How are you? The weekends were always tough for me. Always tough because I was such a workaholic. I got things done on the weekend, but when people would come in on Monday, it was all set up. This is what you need to do. As an employer and an entrepreneur, you really have to set the table for people. You know what I mean? And not everybody agrees, and not everybody is as motivated, you know? So it's a concern. Thank you for the thumbs up. Chiron, how you doing, kid? How's it going? So, just, what's the plan for the weekend? Anybody thinking business, or is it all family? Kids are going to college, kids are going to school. Froggy, thank you. Appreciate it. We got some thank yous. Gonna enjoy life. Traveling home. What's home? Where's home? How many miles is it? By air or by car? Jorge. How you doing, Jorge? So, yeah, people have to realize that weekends, it depends on what you're looking for. Oh, by bus. Okay. My name is Rock, R-O-C-K. I live in Florida. A sleeper coach. Okay, cool. Cool. How you doing? Shara? Okay. Hi. My address is West Palm Beach, Florida. Yes, R-O-C-K. You should see it on my channel. Is everybody subscribed that's on here? Some not, huh? Netherlands, Froggy Legs. Netherlands, okay. I've been there a couple times. Very peaceful, very nice. My channel name is my name, Rock LaManna, R-O-C-K-L-A-M-A-N-N-A. Chiron, thank you. And I wish I was your age, knowing what I know. I come on, very spontaneous. I don't plan anything. I just come on to say hello. Hi, Tasha. I know Tasha's been here before. Okay. Steph lives in Maine. Maine, state of Maine. When I think of Maine, I think of the Black Bears hockey team, college hockey team. Don't you have that governor that kind of challenged Trump and DEI and women athletes? LaManna, the second one, L-A-M-A-N-N-A. No space. Yep. I'm glad you like my videos. Yeah, when you're young, if you got the right path, my parents gave us the right path. I think I've shared this. Yeah, one word, Froggy, one word, no space. And my parents, I'm one of 11 children, and we're all alive, all 11 of us, ranging from 79 to 60, 8 boys. I'm a middle child too. I'm number 5. And my dad's 100. Joseph, how you doing, Joe? Joseph's been here before. So, yeah, your parents have a lot to do with your foundation. I call it the foundation. And I also mentioned in if you go on my playlist on my YouTube, I talk about foundation. I talk about mastery. I talk about giving back. I talk about your career, how to get a good career, you see? Okay. Strong, yep. Genetics. And I'm not done. I'm still going. 25 to 36. Is that what? Your age? 25 to 36? You're in prime time. Prime time. This is where you got to make sure you pick the right horse. Yes. It's called, I believe I call it foundation or pillars. I think I call it pillars. Froggy 66 and a female. Okay. Usually I get men. I get 80% men, 20% women. And I always mention that the men are afraid of the women. I call this a clean show. My show is clean. Yeah, subscribe. Just take a look at what you think. Pick and choose. Comment. Sometimes you get an idea. I will respond. I will respond. So I appreciate that, everybody. Hey, Craig, how's it doing? I don't want to talk about Boston last night and the Yankees. They start at 7 in a few minutes here. I watched that whole game, and I can't believe the errors. Oh, my God. KF, how you doing? Now it's Friday night. What do people do on the weekends? I'm always thinking, what am I going to do next on a video? We'll see you later. Come back next time. Shara, I believe. Yep. Whoa, 52 years? What kind of friendship? And why? I mean, you want to share it with us? Had to be a big decision. You must have thought about it. Was it toxic? I mean, I've breaking up my buddies sometimes after 15, 20 years. If I feel like I'm being bullied and stuff, I won't take that shit. Hard work, easy. How you doing, guy? Hard work, easy is blue-collar millionaires. My dad used to say to me, he never worked a day in his life. I says, why is that, Dad? He goes, I love what I do. When there's passion, they call it passion. I think it's more purpose. You know, you find your purpose. If you find your purpose at a young age, man, like me, I got it at about 21. But I knew before that, my idea was be a business owner. That's what I wanted to do. But I didn't know how I was going to do it with no money. So I got involved with people, and I got a mentor that believed in me, and he paid me well, but I was a workaholic, and by the end of the day, I ended up buying the business, but I brought in an investor, and the investor was not an entrepreneur. Disconnection? I hope not. I hope not. By the way, I got a Wi-Fi for my car. So I got that device. I put a couple YouTubes out there. Seems like it works. It's called, oh shit, I don't even know what it's called. Something mobile. Smart Mobile? No, Simple Mobile. I got it at Best Buy. $50. Nope, Starlink. However, Apple is, with their 17, is coming up with their, what is it, the satellite? And there's no extra charge. Okay, Craig. Usually it's me, but now I got AT&T fiber optics, and it's the fastest one I can get. But when I go in the car, now I know I have to have a hotspot. You guys all know a hotspot. I just learned what a hotspot was. And it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad to kind of hook up, and I get all these young kids to show me how to do this stuff. I go on AI, I go on YouTube, and I try to figure out what's what. Day's been great. Kumar, is that Ankit Kumar? How are you? What's up? Okay, we're doing good, man. We're doing good. It's a Friday night. It's Friday Night Live with Rock. Trying to get everybody in before the weekend. Because I missed yesterday because I was so wrapped up with a couple projects and a baseball game. Okay, first of all, somebody needs advice, loves a girl. Karen, advice, do your homework. But if your parents, if you're going to fight your parents, and it's worse if you fight her parents, and I'm sure you guys, matchmake in your country? You got to be careful, man. You got to be careful because, when you're young, you don't really realize you might be picking the wrong horse. Or like in New Zealand, they say, make sure you pick the right cow. I heard that, I'll never forget it. Froggy, 52 years. I mean, you're going to go through emotions, though. I know I have. And then sometimes it's kind of like loving a girl, and then you break up, and you go, well, let me get back. It doesn't work, man. It doesn't work back. Adam. Do we have Adam, are you a troll? Come on, man. I'm used to trolls. Yeah. Yeah, but there's such a discretion of economic levels in India, isn't there? It's like huge. Yes, be respectful. I say the same thing. When we talk about respect, we got to start with the parents, we got to start with the grandparents, we got to start with the country. I mean, people have to earn respect, though. But you know what? When your parents raise you, you got to respect your parents, man. 10 Commandments, honor your mother and your father. Once you get married, you're on your own. Yes. Yeah. Everybody happy today? It's interesting just to be happy, you know what I mean? I talked to my kids today, and they're raising my grandchildren, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy about them. What do you mean, early investments? You mean like retirement investments? Don't know what you mean. You mean taking risks? And investments. Lone Wolf, how you doing, man? What type of early investments are you talking about? We got a good team here. A lot of guys already know how to invest. We go from Bitcoin to gold, investment, stock market, AI. People talk about AI, real estate. I'm not a crypto expert, but I did get involved with Bitcoin. There's a ETF in Bitcoin and gold. It's they call it technology, and it might be a good thing. I don't know about crypto. I believe in investing in something legitimate. You know what I'm saying? And the brand's important. My father taught me about not only the price earnings, look at the balance sheet. Look at what's owned, in other words, assets, liabilities, and the leadership. Leadership's very important. Okay, chilling with the kids. Okay, Nigeria. Okay. What else is going on, people? It's Friday Night Live with Rock Talk. Bonds and real estate. If you're young, like you were saying, start meeting people that are very involved and very successful. And don't be afraid to network with people that you don't know. Because guys like me and women like me that are successful investors, they will share their mind, but then you, at the end of the day, you got to make up your mind. And don't worry about if something's too small, because if it's a small investment, you get in a habit of saving. That's the bottom line, saving. Okay, good to hear. Networking is a tremendous thing, and that's why I think YouTube's working out well for me, is because I'm more or less mentoring people, you know? Yiddy, you could mention something, but at the end of the day, people have to trust. You have to trust who you're dealing with, and it's got to be somehow insured or legitimate investment. I usually go through my bank because there's a track record of what's going on. But I've been investing for 50 years, you know? My business was always my number one investment. Well, I worked at a company that had, thank you. See you later, kiddo. I invested because I learned how to do a pension plan, and the company had a matching investment pension plan organization. So I got involved with that, and then later on, IRAs came out, and then the Roth investment came out, the retirement. So I've been heavy in Roth. So, and that's how I got it. And it was always discretionary. And my goal was 10% at the beginning, but as I got older and I had more discretionary dollars, I started putting in 25%. 25% of my, what should I say, my budget was on my retirement funds. So I retired with the Social Security package at 66, but I've always had a retirement plan up and beyond my Social Security. And I'm in the U.S. Most people know I'm in the U.S. See? I'm 71 and my dad's 100, and we live with moderation. No alcohol, no drugs, no guns. That was one of our rules in our 10 brothers and sisters. No guns, because my father was worried we would use them on each other. But we had a great, my parents weren't drinkers, weren't smokers. We were eaters. It was always about food. We're Italian. So food was our addiction, food. But we were hardworking people. My dad taught us that. Yes. Focus, discipline, patience. Patience. You see Craig? Craig knows. I look at Social Security as petty cash. But I live under petty cash. Yep. No, I believe that, Froggy. I believe that. Papa Rock, Irma. Thanks for the hearts, the subscriptions. If you're new, subscribe. And I come back. I got some regulars here. I call them winners, my winners. Sherry, you said you were going before. If you're coming back, you're coming back. It's okay. Cancer's no good, man. No good. Sorry to hear that. How'd you find out about RockTalk? Did it pop up in a short or something? What type of cancer do you have? Well, as they say, you got to finish strong somehow. Okay. Where are you located? Are you outside the United States? I don't know what a ball is. The ball just came up. I know what hearts are, but I don't know what a ball is. I love technology, and we weren't accustomed to that. A lot of the technology came in around 2000, I think. But I had a mobile phone early, and I really started using technology more and more over my career. And then AI is unbelievable. Yeah. Way to go, Froggy. We got good people here. We got a good team. People are positive. We got all ages. It came down, a friend of mine's wife has cancer. They gave her a percentage of maybe 3 years, 2 years originally. It was brain cancer. She's already into 3 years, and now they're saying 5 years if she keeps going. But she keeps going because she wants to see her daughters get married and college. She's got 3 daughters. And my buddy, they're only in their 50s. It's so sad, man. And they're good people. And they lost a son in a motorcycle accident in the last 5 years. I mean, how much can you take? Christian people. I don't know. I mean, if you want to see negative, it's everywhere. Especially dating apps. I'm on a dating app, and besides this, I got trolls. So now I'm figuring out the other group. The other group are catfish and the rest of them. So I'm going to be doing some YouTubes on how to identify, abuse. Because at my age, a lot of people are very lonely, and spam, and they'll give money and for relationships, and it's bad. Okay. Like my father says, I'm going to tell you something. My father would always say, everyone's got problems. Everyone. And the difference is, whatever you're assigned, you have to come up with solutions and so on. You never know, okay? I've never had a surgery. I've never had a disease, except for workaholism. But everybody's got to get something, and they got to figure it out. And that's why integrity and having your God is important, like my God's important to me. So I don't know what it's like, but going back to my buddy that's got the wife with the brain cancer, I asked him, I said, what would you do? Because now she's got to go her second or third chemo. I don't know if I would go through that. Because I'm not tough, man. I'm not a tough guy. I'm kind of I don't like pain. I'm going to admit it. My pain, you could kick me, you could slap me, you can tell me I'm a prick. That doesn't hurt me. But anything to do with pain in my body or something, it's not me. Yeah. Chiron, how old are you? You're saying you're a workaholic and you're India? And you want to get married? It's not a good mix. You're married to your job. You're married to your career. If I did anything over, that's probably what I would have did. But I wouldn't have had my 3 kids at 22. I started having kids at 23. Come back, Sherry. You're Indian, you're 28. Okay. Okay, so listen. You better make up your mind. Because workaholism, it's a disease. And you got to remember, the woman of if you decide to marry a woman and they don't like your work schedule, which is 16, 18-hour days, and sitting at home with the kids, if you have kids. We got a 16-year-old, Sherry, 16. We got a couple 10, 12-year-old kids. I believe they were UK. Bye, kiddo. Come back. We'll be back. Well, Kumar, I'm going to call you Kumar. Kumar, you got to stay the course. That's another thing my dad used to say. You got to stay the course. Once you make a decision, you promise yourself you got to get to the finish line. Now, if you keep a promise and you break it, it's always going to come back. The worst happens when you make a promise to your loved one and they promise and somebody breaks that agreement, that convent, that commitment, that contract. It's painful, man. Yep, it's painful. That's right, Craig. Everyone's got something going on. Actually, when I do this and I read these, I say to myself sometimes how lucky and blessed I am that I've been through it. You know what I mean? I've been through it, but you really can't help everybody. You can't, like my brother would say when my mother was deteriorating in life, not due to disease or anything, which we were blessed to see that she didn't die of a disease. Because Dad can't save Ma. And when I heard that, I went, wow, really, you can't save anybody. You know? Well, you're 28. How old's your girl? She about the same age? At least she's working. You know, I know guys that marry women that don't work and they think they're going to change. It's not going to happen. She's 27? Okay. How does she feel about her parents? Do her parents want you to marry? Do they like you? Oh, yeah. Froggy, it's cool. Yeah. Craig, you're too realistic. Hey, he's 28. And in India, you probably live at home, right? She lives with her parents and you live with your parents. That's pretty custom, right? Customary or traditional. She's back. Give us hearts. Subscribe. We could talk all the time. It's Friday Night Live. Appreciate the hearts. Whoa. No. I don't know about that. I would ask who's got the money, your parents or her parents? And you guys have big weddings, right? Isn't it like a week long or something like that? You same religion? Religion's important. It's not just a job. Is it just a job or is it family business or who's doing what? And what about the classes? Like I know in South America, like in Colombia, they have classes. They have 7 classes from high to low, and you need to marry within a certain class. And if you're not in that class, they reject the marriage. Coach X, how you doing, brother? Hey, listen, I saw your comment. Thanks, man. We're doing good. We got people here talking about marriage in India. Coach X got 3 kids, twin boys and a girl. Yeah, prestige. Prestige. Prestige is money. I mean, come on. Tina Turner, what did she say? Something about love? Oh my God. Marilyn. Yeah, coach. I missed yesterday. I was watching the Boston Red Sox beat up my Yankees. They're on at 7 o'clock here now, too, but I don't want to look until I'm done here. New laptop, okay. Did you go with Apple or another? Hey, Kumar, you're not going to change it. I don't care who you are. You're not going to change, what is it, hundreds or thousands of years of India. It's not going to happen. Oh my God. Treatment, and she's young. She's young. Oh, you had a problem with MacBooks, huh? I'm an Apple guy. Aiden, no, no, bingo. I got the trolls. I got, you know what else I got now? Catfish. You're going to be hearing more about my catfish. I caught them. You know I'm good at that. I got street smarts. I'm just not a formal educated guy. I know street smarts. I was brought up in Minnesota and Chicago. I don't know. I'm not giving advice on marriage. I've been divorced twice. Does anybody want to give I know for my grandkids that are very smart and in college, and they got girlfriends, I'm like, don't get married. In fact, break up. Make sure you pick the right horse. Sorry. Aiden, yeah, Aiden's a boy or a male, I would think. Karen, you're not going to convince me. Don't talk to us about your marriage. It's between you and your girl. It's between you. And you got to talk to the parents. Because if there is a distrust, it's not going to work. No matter how much you love each other. Especially if you're a workaholic. Who agrees with Kieran? It's not about money. I don't know. That's cool. Coach X, how old's your dad? Uh-oh. 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 They're getting serious about marriage. I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm a divorce strategist. There you go. Coach X, he knows. I mentioned this before you came on. My dad would say to us, he's 76. My dad used to say, I never worked a day in my life because he loved his job. I'm the same way. I found my purpose early in life. Once you find your purpose, nothing stops you. Believe me, nothing stops you. Yeah. Health is wealth. Everybody knows that. Where's your dad live, Coach? That he's flying in. Okay, Aiden, we'll see you. There you go. See you, kid. Reno. Okay. Coach, do you play college ball that you're coaching at schools? Retirement, you're not going to retire. You're not going to retire. You're going to come up with something. Like me, I came up with something. Most of my contacts, and I was in the merger and acquisition business. A lot of those guys that sold their businesses had no clue what they're going to do. They lose their identity. They start drinking. There's problems. I don't care how much money you have. It doesn't matter. Post-retirement is really post-transaction because you're going to lose your image. But if you plan ahead and say, you know what, this career, this job, this money, whatever, you move on. Oh, I figured you played ball. Good for you. Pros are different, huh? My son played baseball. He was a catcher. He played the international, what do you call it, independent league. And I asked him what was the difference between college ball and the pros. He goes, the speed. Everything was faster. Curveballs, fastballs, running, everything was faster. Actually, I didn't watch it, but I read the highlights, and I said it makes sense. Makes sense. Because Trump's going to get what he wants, and the economy is going to be. And look what happened to the market today. I didn't realize, I figured unemployment is going to be bad for white collar workers. And if you're over 50, you're not going to get a job for 2, 3 years. That's why you have to become a freelance. You have to become a freelance. Golf Dad, who's the ass? Am I another ass? Or you talk about Powell? Oh no, I keep up with my buddies from grade school even. Grade school, high school, college, business. But there's very few. You could say you had hundreds of friends. Now you're down to maybe 2 or 3 from each class. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You see, Coach, it's everything eventually, like my father would say, eventually everything comes to an end, even life. And my dad's 100. See, and he retired at 65, like the greatest generation. So his career, his Social Security's been as long as his career. Yeah. Yeah, today was a bammer, man. I called my tax advisor to start looking at my retirement, my Roth contribution, and I'm going to do a conversion. But Craig, you're young. I'm old. I could do what I want. My childhood, I got 10 brothers and sisters. It was always sports. The neighborhood. We lived in a blue collar, low blue collar neighborhood in Minnesota. A lot of hockey, baseball, softball, uh, wiffle ball. Coach might remember wiffle ball. I wasn't. I wasn't like a. I'm more of a precision player. I didn't want to get hurt, so I didn't play football or anything. I'm a little guy anyway. You see, Coach X got kids. He went through hard times with his spouse, and it's not over. He's a young guy too. Oh yeah, that a baby. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I had a great childhood. I all 10 brothers and sisters. I got 7 brothers, 3 sisters, and myself. There's 11. We're all alive, and we're still pretty close, more or less. My parents kept us close, you know, and we're very Catholic, so everything is the Ten Commandments, and we probably all married wrong, but we were married at between 18 and 22. You know. Oh, word correction. Sorry, brother. I hope I speak okay English. Now listen, I'm pretty involved with Vietnamese, and those people are awesome, man. The technology. That's what I did, Coach. I didn't get remarried for 22 years, and I still made a mistake. Sorry. But I was all in on my kids, man. All in. And it paid off because what happens is, there's respect. There's respect for their mother. And I just worked and I was a role model. My parents helped me a lot by having that foundation of a family, strong family, united. And what I like are my 3 kids are close, especially my 2 boys. I got 2 boys and a girl. My 2 boys are like best man, for weddings and stuff like that. They're great kids. Okay, my cancer is done now. It's been like a week. Okay. So who's up, Coach? Is Texas and Ohio State playing? Is it tomorrow? Who you taking? Texas or Ohio State? Mercedes, she loves horses, and she looks in their eyes. I wonder what restaurant she's going to pick. Does it bother you when it screws up your nutrition, or are you straight? You so adamant about your nutrition that you don't care. Now it's your birthday, Aiden. What else? Do I trust it? Do I trust it? Do we all trust it? This is a clean show. Everybody talks where we trust each other. Yeah, you did say you were 16. So that's, what's tomorrow? August, where do you live? It's August 23rd. Ooh, Froggy knows. Okay. I hate to see your bill, Coach. What's for supper? Craig, listen to this. Coach, what's for supper? And what's the amount? Craig, watch this. You know this dude's a bodybuilder. AI is changing my life. I don't know what it's going to do for anybody else, but it's changing my life. I love it. Answers a lot of stuff and my time savings. And I'm not outsourcing writing anymore. And I just speak my mind, and it knows my history and my voice. You know what I mean? Half a beef. Wow. 450. Craig, you see that? Wow. Wow, that's worse than a date, Coach. I don't know. I haven't seen it all, but I'll tell you this. It's good to know and follow up on. That's what I like about YouTube. YouTube taught me a lot when I try to figure stuff out. AI is great because I don't read instructions. I don't know if you guys read instructions when you do something. I'll take a picture of it or take a picture of the device and say, what do I do? What do I do as in layman terms? And it spills it out. And I feel like I solve a problem because I am not mechanical. It's getting dark here, and I got my little light here. Getting a little tired. Coach. Yeah, I am old. I am old. No, I'm old. Froggy's young. How did I start it? I got bored and I said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with myself that could be helpful for my grandkids to know Papa Rock? Because they're all going to college and stuff, and they think, you know, I'm an embarrassment. My kids think I'm an embarrassment. So I said, you know what? when I die, they'll see this. And I trademark my name. My name is Rock LaManna. It's trademarked. I got a book, I got a memoir, I got a bunch of stuff. But I said, you know what? I got 50 years of business in living life. I might as well share it with people. Thank you. Thanks, Alex. You know what? Coach he's right on, man. He's right on. Athletes aren't mechanical, Coach. I consider myself an athlete. I am not mechanical. My dad, my dad wasn't mechanical either, so we would always pay for service. You know what I mean? Except for cutting the grass and cutting hair. My mom would do that, and we would cut the grass. We were cheap labor for my dad, 11 kids. It was like a farm, you know? Oh no, I'm happy here. In fact, I feel not only committed, I feel obligated that I got to meet my team. You know, I got over 3,000 subscribers in less than a year. I just got monetized, and I got to still do some homework to qualify, but I'm on my way. TikTok, I'm on TikTok too. What time is it, Froggy? Relax, relax. We don't force people to answer. You know, if you don't want to answer something, don't answer. You know, I don't want anybody feeling bad about, giving their opinion, you know? Boy, when you're young, you could get aggressive. We can't get aggressive anymore, can we, guys? On top of it, we got to coach kids, right? And we're the role models. Good for you. You're paying her an allowance, making her earn it. That's what I do with my kids on their grades and stuff, and it paid off, man. They got good educations, and now my grandkids are doing great. But I was in sales, so I was always giving them an incentive, you know? Okay, and I was single, so I could do whatever. Plus, I had my own business. I was in sales. I could kind of rearrange my schedule to meet the demands of coaching and discipline and going to their school, checking things out. Yeah, Craig. No, I know what you're saying, man. I know. But guess where it comes from? The parents and their attitude. Or their friends, but then the kids or the parents got to straighten them out. That's how I feel. Did anybody ever get a whipping? My dad, we were afraid of my dad, man. But we call that love. How old is she? Is she a teenager? Well, she likes speed because of the horses. Uh, I think that's a really great question. Being single develop more discipline or productivity. I don't know if it's being single. I think it's in the person. Because I changed. I became more disciplined, more patient, and I started focusing more over time. And like now, I could sleep on a problem, you know, get up the next day and say, make a decision. Yeah. You see, Coach? Look at the daughter's only 11 and she's got this guy around. And you better not let her date anybody, Coach. Oh, oh yeah. I bet you she's really competitive. What about your boys? Are the boys younger? I don't know if you are older than Mercedes. I forgot. Chris and your other son's name? Chris and Kyle. I think it was Chris and Kyle and Mercedes. You see my mind? I'm not shot yet. Coach, we know who Craig and Joey and all these guys like the Patriots. Who's your team? NFL. Uh-oh. I think we might have a troll here. Oh man, they're very diversified. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I think we might have a troll. We might have a troll. Just in time. I'm over 60 minutes. Hey guys, have a great weekend. Stay out of trouble. Coach, I want to know later who your team is. And I'm going to let you know who my team is. I don't think you'll guess who my team is. I know Craig knows. Cinema? Oh yeah. I like cinema. Wow. That's interesting. Yeah. Craig. I think I thought there was some bullshit going on there too. But hey, it's okay. All right, everybody, good session. I appreciate everything. You know, you're my team, a bunch of winners. Enjoy your weekend. Stay out of trouble. Get some sleep. Be productive. Think positive. Have hope. Uh-oh. Craig, don't expose me. All right, guys? I'll talk.